What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Here's a little review of the recent purchase on my car. I bought some new wheels. In my previous video, I originally had the SVE Series 1 liquid gold. I recently bought the Cosmis XT206R Hyper Candy Gold. Link will be down in the description for these wheels. And I must say, these wheels are a lot better quality in my own eyes than the Series 1, SVE Series 1 wheels. The fit, the finish, the quality of these wheels are amazing. I did go with the 18 by 9.5 wheel, squared all around. A lot of guys opt for the 18 by 11. I didn't want to do that. I felt like I really didn't want to try to get those wheels to fit on the rear and buy new tires. I wanted to keep the tires I originally had on the SVE Series 1 wheels and then just swap them over. There were a few issues I ran into with the rear wheels. These are the 18 by 9.5 with a +10 offset. The SVE Series 1 are a +25, I believe. So the +25 actually tucks the wheel probably about ½ inch, or actually an inch in towards the fender, opposed to the Cosmis wheels are a +10. So there's that 12mm difference that the wheels poke out just enough to where it does cause rubbing. I love the look. It's definitely nice and flush. It's nice and flush on the rear. The fronts stick out just a hair, which I'm really not overly concerned about. You can barely see it there. And the tire does stretch a tiny bit, which I'm really not concerned of. I know that even though the tire is stretched, it tucks the tire in pretty well. These are cheaper tires on the front, which I'm not really concerned about. And I believe they are 245/40 18s. I have seen online some people run 255 40s, or even a 255 35 to prevent rubbing. But I will say the fronts don't rub at all. And the front is slightly lower than the rear. I don't have any coilovers. All I have is H&R springs, H&R sport springs, and stock rubber isolators up front, and they've compressed enough to where the wheels, the front end is definitely a lot lower than the rear. The rear, I have stock rubber upper isolator along with the lower isolator I removed, and then I put 3/4 inch ID heater hose wrapped around the bottom of the spring. I don't know if we can see it here. Might be able to. Yeah, right there. So doing that definitely lowers it down a little bit more, and it eliminates a lot of the road noise that you have associated with the spring and the lower control arm perch. So I kind of got best of both worlds by getting it a little lower and still having a little bit of cushion. Now, as far as fitment goes for these wheels, I did have to roll the fenders on the rear. It scraped the fender ever so slightly. I don't know if we can see any marks here or not. I know it was starting to take some chunks out of the wheel. I think you probably see it right down in there. Yeah, right down in there where it started taking a little bit of the chunks out of the tire. There's a couple marks here. I don't know if you can see that line or not. Especially right here. That's where the fender was hitting. So leading to that, I will say, if you do buy these wheels, you will have to roll the fenders. There's literally no way around it unless you run a smaller or a tire that's not as wide. So I currently run the Nitto 555 R2s. They are 285 40 18. I'm sure you could get away with a 275 40 and they would tuck in a little bit better, but you probably are still gonna have to roll the fenders. And the wheel looks great with the 285 40 on the 9.5. The wheel definitely, or the tire doesn't bulge if you run like a 305 or a 315. I do know the 305 and 315 is pushing it with a 9.5-inch wheel. I imagine you could get a 305 on there if you wanted to, but you probably get a lot of bulge. So I do love the look of that 285. Performs pretty well on the street, especially for turbo. I don't really get any swaying back and forth with this wheel and tire setup, but I know the look is awesome. The finish is great. If you do roll the fenders, I would suggest getting the Eastwood Fender Roller. I would not buy the cheap eBay or Amazon $30, $40 version. Mainly because this pressure bar right here is what a lot of people griped about. That the pressure bar metal is just junk threads, and that if you go to Amazon and you see the reviews, the threads down in here basically just shear off because it's just real cheap. The Eastwood is on par with the top of the line. Also comes with lug nut spacers, washers, whatever you call them, to go onto your hub down there. And it's pretty easy to set up. It already comes assembled for you. The only thing you really have to assemble is the handles off. I know the eBay and the Amazon version, Fender Rollers, everything comes disassembled. So, and there's no instructions, or virtually any. So at least with the Eastwood, it already comes assembled. There are instructions on there on how to use the Eastwood, but you don't have to do a full assembly of the Eastwood. The Eastwood also has adjustability here, that you can move the Allen key and the locking pin. You can move it up or down for different types of cars. You can lower where your roller goes, which is awesome. Anyways, guys, I just want to show you my new wheels. Tell me what you think. If you think it's too much, too flashy. I personally love the wheels. I know a lot of people, this is not their cup of tea for wheels, but I love the black on gold. And I love the stance. Other than that, tell me what you think. I know I had a little review in there. So if you decide you want to buy these wheels, the rear fenders will have to be rolled, especially on a 94, 95 Mustang, and I'm guessing probably any Mustang from Fox body 87 up to 2004. Well, the fenders will need to be rolled.